Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Here I post sewing tutorials. Today's tutorial is the making of this pleated skirt. This pleated skirt was made with the sunray fabric. Sunray fabrics are already pleated fabrics. Let's just get right into the tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm working with 3.5 yards of my sunray fabric. If you want, you can work with 2 yards, you can work with 2.5. It just depends on how you want your skirt, how big you want your skirt to be. The next step is to cut out your skirt length.
So I went ahead to cut out the length of this. Now if you're cutting this out, don't just like from this part. If you want to cut this out, don't just do this. Imagine your length is let's say your length is 10. Don't just minus that 2 inch band you have. Then this is your 10 extra 1 inch 11. Make a notch. You do the same for the other side, then you can just cut straight. No, this fabric will wind you. What you need to do is that just fold this into two, spread it on the floor. As on the floor, you then measure your length and mark. Else this fabric will wind you. In fact, it already even winding and I panicked, but I've sorted it out. I will have to join mine because I was so shocked at what happened. If you spread it on the floor, make sure the pleats are as it is, so it wouldn't, this is stretchy, so it wouldn't wind you to like a winding. So what I'm doing next is that as I'm done with this, I want to now, I'll use my needle and thread and make tiny gathered stitches around this.
So I've gathered the whole 3.5 yards with my needle and thread. Now this is the next step. You want to make sure that your gathers will be your round hip measurement. So my round hip measurement is 43. So I want to like adjust my gather so it can be 43. I won't want it to be less than 43 or more than 43. So after doing that, I'm just going to use my needle and thread to lock in the stitch so that my gathers wouldn't like it won't extend anymore. Now that that's done, I'm going to set that aside and bring my elastic. So this my skirt is going to have an elastic. If you want yours to have a waist, you want to use like you want to put a zipper instead of a waistband to yours. Just what you need to do is that your guy you're going to gather it into your waist measurement, adding, don't forget to add your extra allowance. If you want to use 2 inch allowance, so you add it to your waist measurement, then that's going to be the length of everything. So you make sure your gathers will be able to accommodate that band you want to use. Now back to my elastic. So I'm going to use 27 for the round of my elastic. This just depends on the waist you're working with. So the width of my elastic is 2 inch. The next step right now is to bring this remaining this piece of fabric. Now we're going to cut out a very long band. Now we're going to cut out that 43. You can make it 45 so that you're not going to have anything that will short. So we're going to cut out for the length. It's going to be that 43, and for the width I'm going to use 7. Now that that's done, what I'm doing next is that I'm going to get this band I just cut out. Then I'm going to get my skirt, that's the place I pleated. Then don't forget front to front, but this fabric both sides are looking at the front. So I'm going to place it this way. So I'm placing it, and you're going to now make sure your gathers are equal, like they are well spread out. Then you keep on joining it straight until you exhaust the until you do sorry, until you join it on the whole pleated pleats. So now this is how it's going to look like. So I want to close this up. First of all, I will trim out the excesses of that band. After trimming it up, I would like to seal this up. So still I'm going to close it up this way. Make sure that these two parts are equal to equal. And I'm going to sew from top to bottom. You can use 0.75 or you can use half inch, but use 0.75. I'm going to sew from the beginning of my band to the end of my skirt. After doing that, this is just how it looks like. We're almost at the end of this tutorial. Now, our band is, the width of our band is 2 inch, right? Now, you're going to spread this on your table. That's your skirt right now. I'm going to use your chalk and your tape. So I have 2 inch. I'm going to use like 2.2. So from this point, from the that you're joining line, you're going to mark. I'm only adding. I'm just marking 2.2, 2.2 all round. After doing that, I'll just connect it with a straight line. That's done. Next is that I want to close this up this way. Now your pin is going to be needed here. So as this is, I've closed it up this way. I'm going to use my pin to secure this fold right now. And I'll keep on doing this until I use my pin to secure all around this. After doing that, it's going to be easier for me to just go over to my sewing machine and sew without having without any issues. Now, if you go to your sewing machine, you're going to sew on that line, that's this line, that beginning line, that from that line you made that 2 inch mark above. You're going to sew on that line. Now, when you reach the back of that fabric, you're going to leave a little bit space where you're going to pass your elastic through it. So see the space. You're going to leave a little bit space where you're going to pass where your elastic will be passed through. So I'm going to show you where the space is right now. So this is the space I left for the passing of my elastics. I'm going to bring my safety pin and my elastic. Check it in this way and I will pass it round this. So at this point, I'm almost at the end of this. So I'm going to pass out the elastic from that space. Now, most a common mistake is that after you join your two bands together, you realize that one is not straight. Now, to avoid this mistake, you can use your finger to just know which side is the top and which side is the bottom. Do it for the other side. Know which side is the top, which side is the bottom. After making sure that okay, you have the two up and down, it like touching each other, you're going to move your pin, then go back to your sewing machine and join the band. After joining the band, I'm putting it into our skirt. This how it looks like. Next, the sew on top of our band. Don't forget to keep pulling as you're sewing. Keep pulling as you are sewing on top of it. And this is how it looks like at the end. Well, I don't know. This is just how to sew this pleated sunray skirt with an elastic waistband. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful and useful in the making of your own pleated skirt. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's going to be like an encouragement for me to post more content. Thank you very much for watching.